mauri ora. O te amorangi ki mua, o te hāpai o ki mua. Ia tau i o ono nā ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tātaka. E honore he kroria he mau ngārongo ki runga ki te mata o te whenua. E whakara pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Arohaina ngā tainga, me ngā tuakana, e noho nei i rungi te whakaro putai. Pai mai.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā aui o whā, tēnei atu i ngā mana ki o pūta. Aima, hawanga, te whare nei, te whare o te kawana tāna, ki whananui a whara. Kia mai tātou. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's investiture ceremony at Government House in Wellington. Can I begin by acknowledging a very large cast of people. Mr. Carl Bates and Mr. Mike Butterick, Members of Parliament, Rear Admiral Matthew Williams, Vice Chief of the Defence Force, Rear Admiral Garen Goldie, Chief of Navy, Major General Rose King, Chief of Army, Air Vice Marshal Darren Webb, Chief of Air Force, Nicola Purvis, Deputy Secretary of Cabinet, Constitutional and Honours, and Mr. Joe Homewetter, our Kaumātua, and Ms. Puri Rohini-Tipuia. But also I want to acknowledge the Deputy Police Commissioner who's with us. Tēnā koutou katoa. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have equal pride and a great sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Please put together the card and some of the recipients and give their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Dame Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dame Katrina Williams of Masterton for services to spinal cord injury research and equestrian sport. Dame Katrina Williams has been the founder and driving force behind the Catwalk Spinal Cord Injury Trust since its establishment in 2005 and was appointed a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2014 for her contributions. Since 2014, Dame Katrina has continued to support spinal cord injury, or SCI, research through further promotion, fundraising events and challenges. To date, Catwalk has raised more than $10 million towards research for an SCI cure, including $420,000 raised at Catwalk's 10th anniversary fundraiser event in 2015, $350,000 at the remarkable event held in 2017 at the A.J. Hackett Bungee Centre, and recently $570,000 at the Catwalk Luminary event held at Ellerslie, Auckland in 2024. She's a regular speaker around New Zealand, inspiring countless people by her example of courage and determination in the face of adversity, and dedicates time to engage with people who have experienced an SCI and are new to life in a wheelchair. Having herself navigated a second SCI in 2021, she completed an 11-day 1,100-kilometre charity ride in the United Kingdom in 2024, a fundraiser in memory of equestrian Caroline March, and supporting spinal research and the British Eventing Support Trust. Mrs. Williams' efforts have also seen her inducted into the Equestrian Sports New Zealand Hall of Fame in 2023 and win the Community and Not-for-Profit section at the 2016 New Zealand Women of Influence Awards. Dame Katrina Williams, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Peter de Blois of Invercargill for services to music. Peter de Blois was a founding member of the Dunedin Youth Choir and a member of the New Zealand Youth Choir before being appointed as its Assistant Musical Director. He sang in the Ely Cathedral Choir and was a music examiner with the Trinity College of London Examinations Board. He served as the Director of Music at Holy Trinity Cathedral in Auckland, where he established 2 children's choirs and scholarships for junior choristers. He has been both a regional and national finale adjudicator for the Big Sing competition prior to becoming a music teacher and head of department at secondary schools in New Zealand and the United Kingdom. Now based at Southland Girls High School, Mr. de Blois directs the all-comers choir Sanguine and co-directs the auditioned choir Femme. Mr. Peter de Blois, please come forward. Professor Bernadette Drummond of Dunedin for services to dentistry and education. Professor Bernadette Drummond was Senior Lecturer in Pediatric Dentistry at the University of Otago, later becoming Head of Department of Oral Health, Associate Dean of Postgraduate Studies, and Chair of Pediatric Dentistry. She was instrumental in the development of the DCLIN Dent program in pediatric dentistry at the university. She has an extensive record of publications in pediatric dentistry and other dentistry fields. She was Clinical Professor of Pediatric Dentistry at the University of Leeds. She was President of the Australia and New Zealand Society of Pediatric Dentistry, the Australasian Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, and the Otago branch of the New Zealand Dental Association. She was the first female president of the Royal Australasian College of Dental Surgeons. Professor Drummond has volunteered her time with dental organisations throughout Australasia. Professor Bernadette Drummond, please come forward. Rear Admiral Jim Gilmore retired of Collingwood for services to the New Zealand Defence Force. Rear Admiral Jim Gilmore was a long-standing member of the Royal New Zealand Navy and served as Commander Joint Forces New Zealand for the New Zealand Defence Force. He commanded forces in support of the government's responses to the Christchurch mosque shooting and Fakari eruption, COVID-19, the fall of Afghanistan, the war in Ukraine and Cyclone Gabrielle, along with commanding ongoing overseas missions. He undertook several leadership roles during his career as a pilot. He commanded the HMNZS Canterbury. He led maritime relief operations following the 2009 Samoa tsunami and 2011 Canterbury earthquake. He commanded Combined Task Force 151, conducting counter-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden and Indian Ocean. As Maritime Component Commander, Rear Admiral Gilmore led the multinational maritime response for the 2016 Kaikoura earthquake relief efforts. Rear Admiral Jim Gilmore, please come forward. Mr. Neil Walker of Hawera for services to primary industries and the community. Neil Walker began his career on a dairy farm in South Taranaki before moving into senior roles with dairy industry and science bodies. He facilitated 300 projects through the Foundation for Research, Science and Technology. He was New Zealand's representative at the Food Standards for Australia and New Zealand Authority. He was a key figure in establishing Manuka honey as a major export, chairing the primary group partnership to develop high-activity Manuka plantations and the Apicultural Development Review Board. He's a Justice of the Peace and has held key roles in community, religious, and environmental organisations. He has contributed 40 years of service to CCS Disabilities Taranaki. Mr. Walker is serving his 9th term on the Taranaki Regional Council and is currently its Deputy Chair. Mr. Neil Walker, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Alan Mincher of Christchurch, for services to aviation engineering. Alan Mincher worked for Aerotech Limited and then Helicopter New Zealand as the sole engineer maintaining machines flying in South Westland. He was then chief engineer of Mountain Helicopters Limited in Greymouth, before co-establishing AirMech Aviation at West Melton Airfield. He and his wife set up a new base for AirMech on the Old West Coast Road to specialize in helicopter maintenance. At its peak, AirMech served around 40 clients from both the North and South Islands across agricultural, tourist, wild animal control, flight training, and private uses. Mr. Mincher worked to improve systems for aircraft maintenance and safety and designed and manufactured several industry developments. Mr. Alan Mincher, please come forward. Mr. Simon Strombom of Porirua for services to war commemoration and historical preservation. Simon Strombom was a major with the New Zealand Army. He organised the restoration of more than 3,500 graves in Porirua Cemetery, which led to further working bees at Tawa and Pawatanui. Cleaning operations were then expanded with the New Zealand Remembrance Army charity, establishing teams in Auckland, South Taranaki, Dannevirke, Foxton, Nelson, Christchurch, and Dunedin. He has led partnerships with iwi to restore Māori war graves. He organised the inaugural Te Tahi Bay Anzac on the Beach event. He has helped establish the Cook Islands Remembrance Army and the Australian Remembrance Army. Mr. Strombaum led a push to engage with high schools and fundraise for further memorials. Mr. Simon Strombaum, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an honorary member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Viliami Diomohenga of Ashurst for services to education and the Pacific community. Viliami Diomohenga is the founder and director of Amanaki STEM Academy, or ASA, an initiative he established alongside his wife to address the underrepresentation of Pacific students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM fields. Since ASA became a trust in 2017, he has mentored more than 1,800 Pacific students. His leadership has been instrumental in establishing a pipeline for Pacific students pursuing careers in STEM. Mr. Diomohenga is a vocal advocate for systemic educational reform, and he's presented at national symposiums hosted by Massey University, NZQA, and other organizations, where he has highlighted the need for education policies that address the unique challenges faced by Pacific learners. Mr. Viliami Diomohenga, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Decoration, Mr. Andy Watson of Blenheim for an act of exceptional bravery in a situation of danger. Mid-afternoon on the 22nd of October 2022, a car crashed into a ditch and rolled onto its passenger side on State Highway 1 near Kekurengu. The female driver was injured and trapped inside, while the injured passenger was able to escape onto the roadside. The vehicle caught fire, and passing motorists moved the passenger away from the car when it ignited. As the fire intensified, members of the public attempted to extinguish it, with two men entering the car to attempt to free the driver prior to the arrival of emergency services. Mr. Andy Watson, then senior constable, was the first emergency responder to arrive at the scene. Senior Constable Watson saw the driver lying trapped in the front passenger side of the vehicle, with flames beginning to run up the clothing on her leg. Senior Constable Watson used his fire extinguisher to suppress the fire on the driver's clothing. He lay on his stomach on the upturned side of the car, reaching as far as he could into the vehicle through the rear door, and managed to grasp the driver's hand, which had sustained burns. 2 other motorists held Watson by his belt so he could reach further into the vehicle without falling. Together they tried to lift and pull the driver from the car, but Watson lost his grip. He tried again, attempting to reach the driver's other arm as well, but she was unable to move due to her injuries. At this time, the fire was burning through the console of the vehicle. Senior Constable Watson's attempts to reach the trapped driver proved impossible, and the other motorists pulled him from the car due to the severity of the fire. Soon after, Senior Constable Watson exited the vehicle. It was engulfed by fire. Senior Constable Watson demonstrated exceptional bravery in his attempt to rescue the trapped driver, suffering secondary burns to his arm as a result. Mr. Andy Watson, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Medal, Sergeant Sophie Allison of Porirua for an act of bravery. Mid-afternoon on the 10th of May 2021, a man with a short kitchen knife in each hand attacked a staff member at a supermarket in central Dunedin, causing multiple wounds as she tried to defend herself. Several shoppers and staff in the busy supermarket attempted to restrain the offender during his frenzied attack, which occurred in little over a minute, with 4 people in total sustaining stab wounds. Constable Sophie Allison, now sergeant, an off-duty police officer, was shopping in the store at the time. She heard screaming and saw people running, so moved towards the commotion to investigate. She saw blood, a person lying on the floor, and the offender struggling with a staff member and members of the public. At this point, the offender broke free and stabbed a woman who was involved in the struggle. The offender then grabbed a man who intervened, stabbing him several times. Constable Allison attempted to pull the offender off the man. The offender swung his arm around, catching Constable Allison in the head. At this time, another off-duty police officer, Detective Constable Jeremy Toski, was throwing items at the offender to distract him. Constable Allison grabbed a plastic chair and used it to pin the offender to the ground. She saw a knife still in the offender's right hand and threw her body weight down on top of him to stop him getting up. She grabbed the offender's wrist, preventing him from maneuvering his arm while holding the knife. Assisted by another woman holding his arm and Detective Constable Toski, Constable Allison held the offender in place and, with the others, repeatedly directed him to drop the knife. Constable Allison used her other arm to control the offender's left arm beneath his body to ensure he didn't have another knife. Eventually, the offender dropped the knife, with uniformed police then arriving to arrest the offender. Constable Allison demonstrated bravery by entering the struggle with the offender without hesitation, attempting to pull the offender off a wounded person and restraining the offender to prevent further harm. Sergeant Sophie Allison, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the King's Service Medal, Mrs. Alison Perrin of Rotorua for services to the community and music. Alison Perrin has volunteered for more than 40 years at the Rotorua Citizens Advice Bureau. She worked as a grants assessor for the Rotorua Trust. She's been involved with the community organisation grant scheme, Geyser Community Foundation, Civic Arts Trust and Creative New Zealand. As a qualified piano teacher, she's involved with the Institute of Registered Music Teachers Association and convenes Trinity College music exams in Rotorua. She's a trustee of the New Zealand ARIA Trust. Mrs. Perrin is an active Justice of the Peace and assists with Big Brothers, Big Sisters and Rotorua Hospice. Mrs. Alison Perrin, please come forward. Mrs. Jane Smallfield of Dunedin for services to historical research and the community. Jane Smallfield was librarian and archivist at Otago Girls High School. She helped organise the school's 125th and 150th Jubilee commemorations and co-founded the Alumni Association. She was a member of the Maori Hills School Centennial Committee and co-authored a history of the suburb to celebrate the centenary. She's an active member and former treasurer of the New Zealand Society of Genealogists. Mrs. Smallfield has been treasurer or secretary of the John McGlashan Pipe Band, the School Library Association New Zealand, the Royal Federation of New Zealand Justices Associations, and the Otago Croquet Association. Mrs. Jane Smallfield, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive an honorary King's Service Medal, Mrs. Sina Latu of Timaru for services to the Pacific community. Sina Latu is a founding member and general manager of the Tongan Society South Canterbury. She was a member of the Timaru Boys High School Board of Trustees. She's a member of the Pacific Advisory Group at Ara Institute of Canterbury, supporting the participation and success of Pacific students. She was a member of the Pacific Health Strategy Advisory Group with the Ministry of Health. She was a member of the Consumer Council at Te Whatu Ora. She is the Hawaiki, or leader, of Free Wesleyan Church in Timaru. Mrs. Latu is a registered social worker at Oranga Tamariki. Mrs. Sina Latu, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To all our recipients today, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In your own way, you have indeed confirmed Confucius's observation that wisdom, compassion, and courage are the three universally recognised moral qualities of humanity. Please wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again most sincerely for your contribution to our country. Kia ora, hui mai nei I tēnei rā. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in te reo and English, and given that we have some singers and choir leaders amongst us, the bar is being raised. I now invite you to join with me in singing the national anthem.